Hi everyone, my name is Michael Stelzer-Jocks, and this is our introductory lecture to SSC 223 VO, which is Sports in History, American history specifically. So what I want this lecture to be in 15 minutes, which is very quick, is basically an introduction to Blackboard, because of course as an online course, which hopefully many of you have already taken, but if not, that's fine as well. Everything is through Blackboard. Everything is done electronically. We do not meet ever in a classroom setting. So we need to make sure that we are understanding how to use Blackboard to be successful and where to find everything. So once you sign into Blackboard, which of course is done through current students or from the quick links area of the Robert Morris website, you should of course find my courses and see which courses you're enrolled in, and you will see this SSC 223 Sport and History. You click on it, and what you're going to see is this introductory page, which takes you to basically a welcome. These things down here at the bottom of the page, you're not going to see too many things here ever really pop up. The only thing you might see is an announcement that I put up. Generally with my announcements, just to let you know, I will put them as emails out to all of you guys, add them to emails, and then put them as announcements. So basically what you'll see in your announcements should be found in your emails as well, but this is one of three places you're going to be able to see this down here at My Announcements. The other place is actually from the Announcements button. You see all these buttons on the left side. We're basically going to use really these two, coursework and e-content. These up at the top is just general information, and you have tools and my grades and Blackboard help here, which is more for you to obviously find about your grades, get help for Blackboard, and to use different tools of Blackboard. So here's in regards to the announcements. You're not going to see these things. What you're going to see in your announcements is just basically you'll see certain things pop up as we move along. My information here is the professor button. Here you're going to find all of my information that you should need for the quarter. My email, which you can just click on this link and it will take you to the email tool through Blackboard and send out through your Gmail into my Gmail. Best way to get in touch with me is through email. You can see there's no spaces, there's no dashes for my email. It's just mstelzerjocks@robertmorris.edu. My work phone is right here. I do have an office in the Chicago campus, Suite 624, which if you've been on the Chicago campus, you know that's where most of the faculty do sit. So that is where I am located, and my office hours for this quarter, because I am teaching 3 in-class classes, are Mondays and Wednesdays 9:30 to 12 and 2 to 3, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays 2 to 3. I am there on campus all those days, Mondays through Thursday. I will be in class for a number of those hours. Of course, if you need to talk to me, again, email is the best way to get in touch with me if you're not on campus. If you ever need to talk in person, feel free to throw me an email with your phone number on it, and I'll give you a call. I just say basically email is the best way to get in touch with me because most students don't call my work phone anymore, and if I'm not at my desk, I'm not getting those messages. So I can check my email at home. I can check it on the train. If you need to talk to me in person and you can't get into Chicago to see me, I would, of course, give you a call. This is just the general information at the top here. These two buttons here are the ones you're going to go to most often. We have the e-content and the coursework. So the e-content, what you have here is you click on e-content, and of course follow along as I go through this. You see syllabus, course outline, readings and videos, and lectures. We're going to start with the syllabus, and I'm not going to go into it too deeply. Basically what we have here is a Word document that you can open up and print off at any time if you would like. If we open the Word document, we will see, in terms of the syllabus, that it's going to look like most other syllabi that you undoubtedly have had throughout your time at Robert Morris. And let's get you open here. There we are. So what we see here is just the general information up at the top. You see 4 quarter hours, no prerequisite for this course, and a course description. You'll notice that this course description talks about sports as a social and cultural issue, an aspect of American identity that has been central to issues such as race, gender, consumerism, nationalism. This is not then a course that is just going to be looking at the great moments in sports. This is going to be looking at sports as a social topic. Length of course, 10 weeks. We have a text, which is Gorin and Goldstein's A Brief History of American Sports, second edition. You should be able to find this in the bookstore. You'll be able to find it online. Here's the ISBN number. It should not be difficult to get your hands on. Course objectives and student learning outcomes. Not going to go through all of these things. This is all general information. We have the course bibliography with books that we have in the library that have been central to putting together this course. These are not books that we're going to read for the course, but that may be helpful if you want more information about different topics. Academic honesty. Of course, the big thing would be plagiarism, not cheating for this course, but to taking things from other people that you find online and not giving credit by citing sources correctly. If you do this, you get a 0 for whatever assignment this happens on. If it's happened before and your advisor lets me know, you would get a 0, an F in this course. The big thing in the syllabus is the evaluation, where we see how I have things broken down. Now, what you can find is what I've put under the syllabus button are the two big areas that you're going to need more than anything else, the text and the evaluation. So what we have in terms of evaluation, we have 8 journals, basically weekly, 50 points each. That's 40% of the grade. That's 40%, 400 points, because this is a 1,000-point class. We're going to have a news analysis essay due at the end of the quarter, which is 10%, 100 points. We're going to have discussion boards that kind of replace our in-class discussions. 10 of those, 30 points each, basically starting in week 1, going through all the way through week 10. That's going to be 300 points, 30% of the grade. We have a midterm and a final, 100 points for each of those. All of this adds up to 1,000 points or 100%. The grading scale is general, what you'd expect. 100 to 90 is an A, 89 to 80 is a B, percentage-wise, etc., etc. This is the syllabus, and it's found under e-content. Again, you can print this out, but you don't need to. It's a Word document. Where you're going to want to go more often is the course outline. The course outline, what we see here is the topics for the week, the readings that we have and videos to watch, the journals and discussion boards that we have for each week. And basically what we have is each week the assignments are going to be due on Sunday by 11:59 p.m. There's not going to be middle week assignments. It's always going to be Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Pretty much each week it's going to look the same, where we have one journal and one discussion board due each week. Journal 1, Journal 2, Discussion board 1, discussion board 2. In the week, what you're going to do then is this. You're going to come to discussion, or you're going to come to the course outline. You're going to see, what do I have to read? What do I have to watch? Okay, here's what I need to watch and read. TED Talk, are you athletes getting stronger, bigger, faster? We're not starting with the readings from the text yet. Intro to course is what we're going to be doing, listening to YouTube lectures. After you've done all of these things, then you go and you finish those assignments. On week 2, we have 2 chapters of Gordon and Goldstein to look at and a Blackboard reading. That's what this means, betting in games and their saints and their bodies. You go listen to the lectures and then you go do the assignments. It's this way every week for the most part, unless we have something bigger like our midterm in week 5, our in the news essay in week 9, and then our final exam in week 10. Every time it's going to be 11:59 p.m. on Sunday when these assignments are due. So looking at a couple of things here, you're going to see TED Talks, you're going to see lectures. Where do you find those? Well, those are all under e-content. Readings and videos each week. Here you go. It is an outside web link to a TED Talk from YouTube to watch. Everything is free. You shouldn't need to have access to anything specially. You shouldn't need to have any streaming subscriptions. It all should be available to you. Week 2, what you have here is both no videos, but you have 2 readings to do. Clicking on one of these is what we can see. It's an outside link to a source dealing with colonial gambling. Week 3, what you have now is actually a couple of different readings and then again a YouTube video to watch. Usually these YouTube videos are going to be documentaries dealing with topics that we're covering that week, and they should be about an hour each. You also, though, have our lectures, again, what we would usually be doing in class. So let's look at week 2. What we have here are 2 lectures. They're going to be about 10 to 15 minutes each. They are me talking, unfortunately, not the most exciting thing to be listening to lectures online.
Hi everybody, welcome
But
to week 2 of
that's what we got. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to do the readings. You're going to listen or watch the videos, and then you're going to listen to the lectures, and then you are going to go and do your work. So Journal 1 and Discussion Board 1 is due this week. Where is that found? That's found in coursework. Here are the journals, here are the discussion boards. Now you have essays here. That's of course something that's going to be due at the end of the quarter. You can work on that earlier if you'd like. The midterm and final will open up later. We'll talk about that as we get closer to it. Journal 1. Journals, what I'm looking for is a paragraph to 2 paragraph, 50 paragraphs, 50 points, answering the question adequately, answering with supporting by evidence, lecture, video, or book, making sure the entry is coherent, grammatically correct, and proofread. You got to answer all of these in 1 to 2 paragraphs at most. How you do this? Journal 1, very general. What can sports teach us about American history? Click on that journal. You can do one of 2 things. You can write the submission here and then click submit and turn that in. Or what I would suggest is actually writing this as a Word document or doing it as a Google Docs and attach that document to this and then hit submit. You must hit submit. If you hit save draft, I can't see it. If you hit cancel, of course, it's gone. The reason I say you should do it as a Word doc or a Google Doc is if you're working on a computer and that computer crashes, the internet crashes, your battery dies in your laptop, what happens is it is gone if you're typing it in this text box. There is no autosave through Blackboard. So if you're doing it through Google Doc, if you're doing it through Word Docs, there is an autosave, and then you're going to have a backup copy in case something happens like that. So that is what I would suggest. One of these per week. Students often answer or ask, can I move ahead? Can I jump ahead and do work ahead of time? Yes, absolutely. All these journals are open, but of course, understand that they are dealing with topics that we're covering that week. So they're set up to be related to what we're talking about that week. So if you move ahead, you may not understand some of the references or not know exactly what you're supposed to be talking about. So there is always that risk. We also have discussion boards. Discussion boards are very simple. They are going to be discussions, hopefully, that we have, where you are answering a question in which, if you create threads, you're going to see the question. Are you a sports fan? Why or why not? You write in a subject line here, you write in the message in 1 paragraph, perhaps 2 at most, answering that question. But then I want you to always go back, look at what other people have written, and respond to them. So you should have 2 posts per discussion board. 1 answering the question that I give you, starting a new topic, or new thread, I'm sorry, and then 2 answering or responding to a classmate. Those are the things you need to do for coursework. The first journal, the first discussion board are due at the end of this week, and they are again going to be due each Sunday. So make sure that each week you get the work done and that you get the readings done, you listen to the lectures, and then work on these before they are due. I do accept late work. However, the later it's turned in, the more it is marked down, and we'll have 2 absolute deadlines, one at the end of week 5 and one at the end of week 9. At the end of week 5, all the assignments that were due between weeks 1 and 5 will no longer be accepted and they turn to 0. So this is something to keep in mind and to understand. The sooner you get this work done, the better, as long as it's before the week 5 deadline. So that is coursework. Again, we'll go through essay and midterm final later on. I just want to look at journals and discussion boards. E-content, this is going to be the place you go more often because it has this course outline, which you should be checking in on each week and make sure that you're up to date on. My grades, I'd like you to check my grades as much as possible because my grades gives you an update after I have graded things. After you turn in a journal, it comes to my grade book in Blackboard and it looks like a green exclamation point. You can check to make sure I got it and that it's in the grade book correctly by going to my grades after you turn it in, and you'll see Journal 1 with the green exclamation point next to it. I will try to grade always in a week from when it's turned in, and you will see the grade under my grades after I do that with some feedback. The extra credit is here. You can take a look at that. It is a simple blog post you can write about any topic you'd like. It doesn't need to be about the class. Any topic at all, 350 to 500 words, gives you up to 50 extra credit points. This is what you need to do. Hopefully this is clear. Listen to Lecture 2 now to get the next updates.